Today's episode is sponsored by Raul Rodriguez Law.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back inside the Leija Lounge. Today is a family day in the Leija Lounge. We have a great family friend who's been family friend to the Leijas and all of us since I can remember. He is a legal representation for many of your favorite fighters that are current right now. He was legal representation for my father. Great family friend to all of us here in town, or to all of us here on the lounge. Mr. Michael Miller, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Michael Miller. Sit down.
I always say he's a boxing promoter's kryptonite, and he is a fighter's angel, heaven sent.
Yep, for sure.
He is the guy who is going to make sure that y'all's favorite fighters are not taken advantage of by these promoters. He is a guy who, I mean, I'm talking for him, but again, I've known Mike for, how long have I known you, Mike? It's been...
Before you were in your mom's belly.
Yeah.
So...
You know, he was around before I was even thought of.
Yeah.
We became friends in 90 or 89, right? 89, 90?
Yeah, somewhere around there.
You were working for the judge, for the attorney at that point.
Andy Douglas?
Yes.
Douglas and Elms?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Douglas and Elms. That's right.
How did you guys get together?
You
remember that?
James probably doesn't even know the story.
I don't remember the story
Okay.
Well,
You had a speeding ticket,
I
right?
had that first attorney. I had that first attorney, the one who had the stomach cancer. And then when he passed, someone said we need to go to Michael Miller, or Michael Miller's going to be the guy who's going to take care of you.
I got a better story.
Okay,
Yeah,
go
that's
ahead.
not that good.
Jimmy Variel's birthday.
Okay.
Yeah. Saturday night. At the old La Fogata.
Mm-hmm.
And they had that room upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
They had a room upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
The air conditioning room.
Air conditioning room.
Yeah.
They had like a 40 top table.
Mm.
And I'd been somewhere, so it's probably 10:30. I wasn't there at 8 when it started, right? I walk in late. And there was one seat left at that 40 top table. So I kind of mosey in and, excuse me, and I come and sit down. And nice lady next to me is like, hi, how are you? I'm like, fine. What's your name? I'm Michael. What's your name? Lisa. Oh. And she said, well, how do you know Jimmy? The birthday boy or something like that. I said, well, we hang out together, go to Midnight Rodeo. I bought some boots from his dad at River Center Mall, remember?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Yeah. How do y'all know? Well, my husband knows him and this and that. So what do you do? I'm like, well, I just got out of law school. I'm a lawyer.
Wow.
You're a lawyer? We need a lawyer. You need a lawyer? Yeah, what do you need a lawyer for? And she said, well, we're in a contract dispute with Don King. I'm like, Don King? You mean the crazy hair Don King guy? Yeah. I'm like, look past her and I see James sitting over there. And I'm thinking, I didn't grow up. We didn't have TV in my house till I was in the 8th grade. We lived way out in the country. So I didn't grow up watching boxing, anything like that. I didn't know a left hook from a fish hook, right? So I'm like, and I'd had one of their margaritas, and I'm like, pull my card out, put it on the table.
The ink's still wet in your car, so you just made it
Very much
Smeared,
yeah. I was handwriting. I said, come see me Monday, and I'll kick Don King's ass. Wow. So we talked for a little bit longer. Very nice. I met James. I'm like, they'll never show up. So sure enough, Monday, sitting in my office, And I could hear him before he came into my office. And it's, Mike Miller. It's my old boss. There's this boy in the waiting room, or in our the waiting room, the foyer, and he looks just like Jesse James Leija, and he's got your card. And I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, I met him at a party. What? You met him? Yeah, he said he needs help. He's in a fight with Don King, and I told him I'd kick Don King's ass for him. So we're going to kick Don's. Yeah, come on, let's go meet him. What, get your ass up? Yeah. So we went.
I remember that.
Mr. Douglas, and we sat there and talked about the lawsuit and looked at the contract and got James out. Lester tells me that that's the first time King had ever released a fighter, because he knew you were going to go to his nemesis, Top Rank.
Yeah,
who really knew what to do with that weight category and with a Hispanic fighter and a big name and big following in San Antonio. So that's kind of how we started, and I learned kind of the ropes from Lester and picked up the slack when I needed to, figured out what was lacking on things and kind of learned it from the ground up, the business side of it, which is, the boxing's the hard stuff and training, but the easy stuff on fight night, if you will. But the business stuff is just the opposite. You want to make sure you get paid the night of. And remember in Australia, when they shorted us and we had to do stuff like that.
Yeah.
Wait, it's supposed to be $100 and you're paying us 80. Bullshit. We're not taking this, because they want you to sign a release, and once you sign a release and that you're accepting the 80, you're done, especially if you're in a foreign country. So, it paid off to have somebody there to kind of oversee and make sure that the I's were dotted and the T's were crossed and all that,
And that's so important, not only for boxing, but for sports in general, right? Like, you got to make sure someone's covering what you don't see, right? You got to have eyes that are seeing what you're not seeing.
Yeah.
But not only that, but just in life in general, right? How many contracts are you writing or for houses and apartments or cars and stuff, and we don't have representation? Like, they could put anything on those contracts, and we don't read them
For
through.
sure.
Without a doubt.
The last thing you want to is your fighter or your athlete to be worried about anything financial, right? Do what you're good at, which is training, boxing. Let me worry about the rest.
Yeah, the business side.
Mike, has boxing gotten better as it's gotten more corporate with making sure they're taking care of people, paying them what they say they're going to pay? In other words, the small little mom and pop guys that they got held up and they lost some money at the box office, they got robbed and the money ran away or whatever. Those small, they're still out there, and they provide a service, because you need to have those small club fighters to get to the next level. You need to have those shows. But is the bigger boxing business, is it becoming more, God, I don't want to use the word legitimized, but
Regulated, maybe?
Well, no.
Is it cleaner or not?
Is it? Yeah. Is
No,
it
it's
cleaner?
not.
Or is it still kind of like a lot of crazy, shady stuff that goes on?
It's almost two things.
Okay.
There are those that rise to the top, that although you're going to check everything, that they're probably doing it right.
Like Ronald Reagan, you trust but verify.
Trust but verify.
Yeah.
There are still plenty that try to cut corners, lie to you, and take advantage, and then kind of kick you out the door.
Yeah.
Let me give you an example. And it's an old trick. So Mark Solis is going to fight on my card, and I'm going to give Mark a bunch of tickets to sell, because part of your purse, and maybe 50% of your purse or more, is going to be your ticket sales. And you're hustling, you're 2-0, and man, you're in a groove, and you got family, friends that are all going to come see you. And you're selling 50, 60, 70 tickets to this fight. Okay? Fight week comes. And you've been to the press conferences, and they've introduced you and that kind of stuff. Weigh-in comes. And typically on weigh-in day, the promoter will take his money from you and tickets, whatever's left. And you may have 6 or 8 tickets left. No, I've got these. I got some family coming in Saturday. I'll settle it. But for the most part, they rake in the money. And your opponent doesn't show up. So you've trained. You've busted your ass selling tickets. The Jake Leg promoter never had an opponent for you. Ever.
Wow, yeah.
Ever. And well, he's coming. He's on his way. His weigh-in will be later this afternoon.
The trainer just got a hold of me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's on his way. You know, he missed his flight in Houston. He's at the border in Del Rio or Laredo or wherever. And you're like, hey, commission, did you ever get a contract on this guy? Was there even a fight ever scheduled for this guy? No. We don't have 8 people on the card, 8 fights. We got 7. So they've been playing you for a month and a half, but you've turned in $10,000 worth of money from tickets you've sold.
And he's got it now because you turn it over.
And
Yeah.
you train like crazy for it.
You train. You know, boxing, when you put, back when James was fighting, pick any guy coming up, making $2,500 a fight, making $1,500 a fight. When you put a pencil to how many hours they trained, they're getting paid, what, $5 an hour? $2
Below
an
minimum
hour
wage, yeah.
to get hit in the head?
Right.
With no headgear on?
Mhm.
And then you treat them like that? You know, that's what pissed me off.
Mhm.
That's kind of like, I would jump on his ass for free,
Mhm.
you know?
And that happens every day, right?
It
Almost every
happens
fight's
every
happening.
weekend.
I mean, there's some good promoters out there that are legit, but there's a lot of guys, smaller guys, that are just doing that to almost everybody.
Snake. Same thing with the promoters, these smaller promoters that will go out and get sponsors. And, you know, you can burn a sponsor real easy, real quickly. Hey, Mark, you're going to be my only air conditioning guy. But, you know, it's $20,000 to me. And then the week before, I get a new AC guy.
Mhm.
20,000 from him.
You know, or I've got him 10,000. I'll do, you know, a big banner like his. Now I got 30 between them, but I promised you I wasn't gonna bring in your competition. Hey man, I needed an extra 10. What do you think I'm gonna do, man? I needed it.
Yeah.
So, and now you've got at least one burn sponsor that you're never
Yeah.
going to have again, and maybe 2 because he sees the way that you've treated him, and they'll just burn through these people and pick up the next
And
one.
that's why you've always said, make sure you're putting it in writing. Make sure everything's putting, you know, pen to paper.
Because that's only a start.
Mhm.
They'll still screw you if it's in writing.
Yeah.
That's right.
You know,
Doesn't matter if it's in writing.
they'll still screw you. If it's not in writing, you're getting screwed. Just
Yeah.
count on that because memories fade, right? I didn't say that. Well, yeah, you did. Well, if it's in writing, at least it's in writing, you know, and then it's like, well, I can't do that. What are you going to do? Sue me? Yeah, I'm not going to have the money in 6 months whenever you get a judgment against me.
Yeah.
It's no different than in the music business, as you well know,
Yeah.
with still the young promoters or even older promoters that have been doing it for a long time at that smaller area. It's always the same tricks,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah.
That's
It's the same song, just a different beat. No pun intended.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
And-
know, Mark, I tell people this all the time. I tell everyone this. I didn't do anything in life without his blessing because I knew he would cover me. Mike, I want another kid. Can I have another kid? Mike goes, let me look at it. Okay. And maybe
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
Dean's,
go ahead.
Dean's going to be okay.
Yeah, it was kind of funny that way, but I wanted to be safe. I wanted to make sure everything was done right. Mike, can I buy another house? Yeah, you can buy another house. Okay, thanks.
But
So-
that's the one thing, Mike. And just because, not only just because you're here, but it's the truth. You are an angel to a lot of people, man. You really, truly are.
And it's not just fighters. It's not just in the sports.
No, he's
field.
just you just do good things for a lot of people. And I think that's a blessing that comes back to you many times over. And yeah, I mean, you're just like that. You're like that to a lot of people, man. So
Thank you.
But you've always been that way, right? You grew up that way, right? You grew up from your parents. You got that from
Yeah.
your parents.
tell us about your growing up.
Yeah.
Tell us about
people
this
taste-
no,
and
tell
also,
us about
by
this
the
no
way,
TV house.
Yeah,
Okay.
no TV and then maybe throw in some Spanish words.
Say it
every
in
now and then.
Spanish. Yeah.
So I got it. Yeah, my parents are from Missouri. My grandfather, my dad's dad, invented the process of turning alfalfa into a pellet. Kitty litter is what we call it today. Okay. So my grandfather was the largest turkey farmer in the country in Liberty, Missouri, right outside Kansas City. And the winds get up there like they do in West Texas. So you would grow alfalfa, you would cut it and put it into, they call it a meal, M-E-A-L. Meal is like real fine, almost powdery. Put it into a feed bunk for the turkeys to eat the alfalfa, because they can't take in, the little bitty beaks and little bitty throats and all that kind of stuff. So when the winds would come, it would blow the alfalfa out of the feed bunks and you would waste it. So my grandfather came up with an idea. What if we made, y'all remember the Play-Doh, where you would run Play-Doh through a die and it would come out the other end? And you could, there are big holes and small holes and all that. He came up with the idea of running alfalfa through a die, cutting it, and making it into pellets.
Or was this an app that he?
Yeah, apples.
What app was
That was that.
Yeah. So that was in the 20s. My dad was born in 32.
Wow.
So he grew up in the alfalfa business, turkey business, that kind of stuff. He actually got a leg cut off and reattached when he was 6 years old. My dad did.
Whoa.
He fell down into a pit with an auger at the bottom. And for 45 minutes, they couldn't find him, and he was down there because the machines were going. And his shoe with his little foot in it had been taken and dumped, and he was bleeding out, if you can imagine that. Yeah. They reattached it. My dad has, and he was in the hospital for over a year. He's got all these notebooks or scrapbooks of all these articles. Little boy smiling as he came into the hospital, plastic surgeon, reattach his foot and all this kind of stuff. This was when? 1938. He was 6 years old. No antibiotic. And so he still takes antibiotic today. And his ankle is much smaller on his left side where he got it cut off and reattached. So, and he's played sports. He played football.
Wow.
And he was told, if you ever break it, you have to cut it off.
Whoa.
He pole vaulted. He was a state champion pole vaulter. They landed in sand. And for the state meet, he said they landed in sawdust. Steel poles. Wow. Steel poles. So he's kind of, my dad's kind of remarkable. Yeah. So he went to Missouri for 1 year, University of Missouri, with my mom. They met in the 8th grade. Never stopped dating. Sounds like somebody I know. They both went to University of Missouri for a year. Figured out college wasn't for them. So my dad started, he said, I know everything about putting in these alfalfa dehydrators. So he said, I'm going to go start doing that. So he went to Dillon, Montana, did that at a big ranch, think Yellowstone, huge ranch like that they put this facility in. Moved to Fort Collins, Colorado. My 2 brothers and sister were all born in Dillon, Montana. Next move they made was to Fort Collins, Colorado, where Johnny and I, my twin, were born. My dad put it in a alfalfa place there. Moved to the Imperial Valley of California, El Centro, put one there, no kids. Moved to Madisonville, Texas, over by College Station, put in a facility there where Timmy was born. Then moved to between Eagle Pass and Del Rio, a little town called Quemado, 600 people. That's where we landed. And the deal was, the man who owned the property there owned 600 acres, and he told my dad, if you'll come and put this facility, this alfalfa dehydrating plant in 5 years, I'll give you half of the 600 acres. Because you have to run it. The man was from Phoenix, Arizona. Well, the guy had a heart attack within the first 18 months. Wow. So he told my dad, you can basically have the 600 acres, just pay me for it eventually. So we started, he started the alfalfa business, a feedlot business. It grew that into big agricultural farming community, packing plant, all that kind of stuff.
And what year is it now?
So we moved to Eagle Pass in 1966. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, 66. and I went all through high school. So we lived so far out in the country. We lived 12 miles out in the country that there's no cable. And so in the 8th grade.
How many stations? Well, you didn't have a TV till
we
8th.
didn't. 8th grade is when we finally had these big, huge satellites. Remember those big?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah. We put one of those in. We had 3 stations.
Yeah.
3.
Did y'all have Wi-Fi for those stations?
Yeah. We
No Apple TV.
So I'll tell you where we watched TV. If we got our chores done on Saturday afternoon, we would ride in my mom's station wagon while she went into town to grocery shop. And there was a Montgomery Ward's a block away from the grocery store. So my twin and I and my little brother would go to the Montgomery Ward's, and the owners went to the Baptist church like we did, and they let us sit in front of their TV from like 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock. My mom was shopping all over, and she would come drop us off there and then come and pick us up.
Do you remember at the time, was it black and white TV?
No, these were colors. These were nice colored
Curtis
TVs.
Mathis?
I doubt
Zenith?
that. Probably Zenith. Wide World of Sports is what we'd put it on. Or if it was the fall, it'd be like always Notre Dame football, sometimes UT, sometimes Ohio State, A&M. My dad would splurge sometime and get a hotel room for the Super Bowl or for the Cotton Bowl when we were growing up and go. We had all 8 of us. There's 6 kids and my parents. So that was growing up on the farm. I had a horse before I had a bike.
Wow.
Yeah.
When was the last time you been on a horse?
That was what I was going to kind of go on. Is how much of that is still there?
Yeah.
One of my degrees is ranch management.
That's right.
From
That's
TCU.
right.
I was on a horse 3 years ago in Hawaii.
Okay.
Sydney loves horses. My daughter loves horses. And there's a beautiful place where they filmed Jurassic Park, and Magnum PI, an old ranch there in Hawaii. And they have horseback riding. So concierge at the hotel we're staying in, like, y'all want to do this? Y'all want to do this? You want to do this? And there's horseback riding sitting there. I looked at it. That might be fun. Open it up. Oh, holy smoke. Jurassic Park. Let's go.
Wow.
And I mean, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
So
I've actually been on that ranch, but
Yeah.
I didn't do the horse. I did the
did you do the
buggy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know exactly what I'm
Yep.
talking about. Yeah. So
So what the question is, do you know a lot about this alfalfa?
yeah, I do.
What about Spanky?
He got left behind because we had to work, and so I was 8 years old, and they were already taking Social Security out of my check.
Wow.
I was working at 8 years old.
Wow.
When I get my statement from Social Security, and you figure out,
How many credits you got?
yeah, how many exactly? I'm like,
Wow.
they were. Y'all were taking Social Security out of my little check, $20, $30, $40 a summer, and anyway. So one summer, or actually 2, I worked in the dehydrator.
Wow.
I liked it. I liked it because you're it's a lot of machines and all the dumps and dump trucks and all this kind of stuff because you have to go out to the field, cut it, put it in a truck, bring it in, dehydrate it.
So small community, right? Small schools.
Very small.
So class of how many on senior year?
Go back. When Johnny and I in kindergarten. I mean, imagine this. Maverick County is probably now it's probably 92 or 93% Hispanic. Back then it was probably 97 or 98. We had never heard Spanish in our life, and everyone around us is speaking Spanish. We're like, what are they saying? I don't know. They're looking at us and they're talking. I think they're talking about us. I think we might as well learn what they're saying.
Yeah.
So that's where we learned Spanish. So our little elementary school probably had 25 kids.
Let me guess, your first word was cabrón?
Baboso.
Baboso. There you go.
It was close.
Close. Cabrón baboso.
Yeah.
So we learned Spanish real quick, and a lot of ordering food and all that. You go to a restaurant down there, they're going to ask you in Spanish.
Yeah.
What do you want? The menus are in Spanish. If you want something in English, that's kind of your second language down there. But I still have lifelong friends that I started first grade with, all the way through high school.
Wow.
We played John Jay, Marshall, Clark, all that. So we were big enough for that. There was probably 400 in my senior class. Not big,
Wow.
but
That's a good size.
it's pretty good
Good
size.
size,
It's
yeah.
pretty good
Wow.
size.
I thought
Eagle
you
Pass
were going to
was,
say like 98
Yeah, I
or
thought it was gonna be under 100.
Yeah.
Eagle Pass was 18, 20, 22,000.
yeah. I mean, so it's like what is it like 4A something like that?
Back,
3A?
I mean, today it's 6A, and there's in
wow.
fact 2 schools in Eagle Pass now.
Wow.
But back then it was 5A. I don't think there was a 6A at that time. And like I said, we're as big as Clark or Marshall and all that.
You're playing with the big boys.
Yeah.
So what do you guys do for fun?
Down there?
Yeah.
Um,
What kind of trouble did you guys get yourself into?
well,
those
I tell you, it was like
teenage
camping out almost every night in the summer. We camped out a bunch. We fished. We had a canal that we irrigated our farmland with that we would put boats in, and we would throw jugging is what they call it, gallon jug with a fish with a trot line on it, and put a treble hook on that line, put catfish bait on it, and throw these jugs out about every 50 yards. And then you see the jug go down, you row over to it, and there's your big old catfish.
Wow.
Yeah. So we did that. We rode horses a bunch. Had motorcycles, little mini bikes, if you will. Nothing over a Honda 125, I think is the size we got. Bicycles before then. We rodeoed, believe it or not. I was a bull rider.
Wow.
Believe it or not. Yeah. Got in trouble. Well, Johnny was a better bull rider than I was, my twin. And so I tried to keep up, and I got bucked off like every time. But Johnny started winning, and so word got back to the coach that Miller is rodeoing on Sunday, and he's doing really well. Well, it wasn't me, it was Johnny.
Yeah.
So the coach told me, my baseball coach told me, Johnny didn't play baseball. He said, if I hear of you riding bulls, you're not going to play baseball. Well, I mean, Johnny's riding bulls. I'm like, wait, it's not me. It's no. I hear it's you. You know. Well, I went and tried it one
I know
more.
what
You
I
said the
see.
guy with the blue eyes.
One more time, I tried it, and I got stepped on right on my calf. And man, I knew I had to show up on Monday, and I couldn't limp. I couldn't do anything. Yeah, that was my last
So that's
time.
when you joined, instead of being a bull rider, you became a bullfighter.
a BSer.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, we had a ranch at the time up in Wyoming, and there's the Cody Western Days up in Wyoming. Very famous rodeo. And my oldest brother, who was running the ranch in Wyoming at the time, knew that Johnny and I were bull riding, signed us up, and we rode in the Cody Western Days.
Wow.
Now, we got smoked after about 4 hops, and we're out,
yeah,
you know. But
right.
you talk about getting nervous, because those are huge,
I'm sure mean-looking dudes.
2,000-pound bulls, you know.
Yeah,
So-
that's something. Listen, I, Montana, Wyoming, Colorado. I love that area. I mean, that's God's country
It is.
right there. I mean, clean air, your allergies go away.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Grand Tetons. We had a place in Powell, Wyoming, right at the foothills of the Grand Tetons, and loved to go up there. Johnny went up there, got married. My oldest brother went up there, got married. I didn't go up there and get married.
Yeah.
But we'd visit.
So you, how do you get into law school, man?
Well, I always, about 7th or 8th grade, I thought it'd be fun to be a lawyer. And I don't know where I got it from. I didn't watch it on TV, obviously, Perry Mason or anything like that. I just thought. And then in high school, I got into drama. My freshman year, the drama teacher who liked my sister was in drama, and she was good. She had already graduated. Eddie Cruz was his name. He said, "Aren't you Mindy's little brother?" Yeah. And he said, "I want you to try out for a one-act play. I have a spot for you."
A one
act
act play.
Yeah.
Wow.
Remember
It's like a
that?
solo, man.
No, I mean, no. It's one-act play is just you and a team.
I see.
There's not more than one act. It's you put on something for about 15 minutes. And so I thought it was kind of weird for somebody to kind of pick you out. But I did what I was told. I was a good kid, I guess. And
You're a good boy.
I was a good boy. And so I did it, and I liked it. So I did 2 years of speech, 2 years of drama, and I figured that's kind of what a lawyer does. He's acting a little bit. He's got to know how to speak. And it kind of intrigued me. So I get out of TCU in '85, and my brother dies that summer. I was going to go to law school. I really wanted to go to law school. And my dad said, no, come and put your degree to work, help put the family back together. And so I did. And 1 year turned into 5. And I thought, man, if I don't go to law school, I'm going to end up in Eagle Pass, Texas, running a ranch.
Yeah.
And I don't think I was put here for that. That wasn't my calling. I've been a good boy, a good son, but it's time for me to go do my own thing. And it really upset my dad. He couldn't accept it. And he had paid for all of my undergrad, and he refused to pay for my law school.
Wow.
He said, not going to do it.
You're on your own.
You're on your own.
Yeah.
What about, like, just to dive deeper in that, what about you in that moment was kind of like drawing you there? Was it just like you didn't want to do this? Was it that fueling it, or was it more of like, you felt something else?
It was both, James. I knew I wasn't where I was supposed to be.
How'd you know that? Like, what
It
what did
was,
you feel?
I was up in San Antonio, having fun every weekend.
I remember you were in San Antonio, and you would always go back on the weekends.
Yeah, that's
back,
it.
Back
Yeah,
to
back to the ranch.
Back to the
Eagle
ranch.
Pass.
Yeah.
Call it Eagle Pass. Back to the ranch. And so, when there's a restless feeling inside you, and you don't feel comfortable where you are, it's almost, here's an analogy. It's maybe a poor one, but it's one that came to mind. If you're having an affair with somebody, and you've gone to their house, and you're nervous that their husband might show up anytime, I don't know how you could be rested, feeling like, oh my God, I gotta get out of here. That was almost the feeling I had. This isn't where I'm supposed to be. And it's easy getting paid well, being the owner's son. His deal was, you're the number 3 guy here. This is a business that's worth X number of dollars, no debt. This is yours to inherit. Keep it. Give it to the rest of the siblings. Sell it. It's not for me.
Yeah.
It's not for me. If he was a heart surgeon, that doesn't mean that I need to be a heart surgeon.
Yeah.
I need to go follow my dream. Sure. And I knew I wasn't following it, and I knew it had been 5 years of me not following it.
Yeah.
How old were you?
Late 20s. I started law school at 28, so 23 to 28.
That's what we were saying in one of our past podcasts, is what parents usually, kind of, not every parent, but parents sometimes, like, your marathon is not your kid's marathon. Like,
Right.
it's a totally different track,
Yeah. And, like I told you, on my dad's 93rd birthday is tomorrow, 4th of July. And he wouldn't remember this, but he basically, disown is a hard word. He still loved me, but very disappointed.
Yeah.
My mom was still, follow your heart.
Sure.
Follow what God's got planned for you.
Mom's still being mom.
Mom's still being mom. Thank God.
What was more fuel for you, the love from your mom or the
disapproval, maybe.
disapproval from your father?
Dean, I put both of those behind me and did what I knew my heart needed to do. And I said, I'll figure it out after that.
So it was your own path that got you.
Yeah. The burning sensation to get out, go do it. If you're going to fail, fail. Here's what I kept saying. I don't want to wake up regretting not taking the chance of doing what I felt in my heart that I was put on this earth to do.
I love that.
I'd rather fail than sit there and be resentful and what if for the rest of my life. So I got into St. Mary's, and I liked it. I flourished, made good friends, and I knew I was in the right place.
Did your dad ever come to terms with that?
Yeah, I mean, it took me not only graduating,
It was just
but
last year.
passing the bar, but all of a sudden, this is my son. He's a lawyer. I mean, that's how he introduced.
That's cool.
Me. That's how he started introducing me.
Yeah.
Almost where I felt bad for my twin.
Yeah.
This is someone, and then that's my son. He's the lawyer.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm a son. Johnny's your son too. You don't have to throw in the.
Yeah, right.
He's
And Johnny went the path that your dad wanted, right?
Yeah, for
He
sure.
went to that- he went
And he's
that-
still in the cattle business.
Yeah.
He's still kind of doing that. Yeah. Every time I see him, he's got his cowboy hat on.
Yeah, yeah. And so, and identical twins. So isn't it interesting that you can have the same DNA, like literally,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And go separate
Yeah.
paths.
From a distance, it's hard to tell. As you get closer, Johnny, you can see if he has his hat on, easy to spot. No hat, you got to walk closer, closer, closer. Now I'm 20 feet. He's got a weathered face, been out a lot. That's Johnny. You know.
I always kind of tell him apart. I think Johnny has more hair. I think he has a little more hair.
He has thicker hair.
Right?
And he wears it different. Like
Yeah.
straight up, so it's almost
Exactly.
sticky.
All right, Mike. So fast forward all that, right? And
Which is great. That's a great
yeah,
story.
no,
I mean,
it's just impossible. Just the journey you've had all these years, just being yourself, and then getting into the boxing world, which is crazy in its own right?
Yeah.
And then to managing the fighters you have managed, or be a part of, be their attorney, right?
Yeah.
And you've had, you tell us the big names that you've had.
19 world champions.
19 world
19,
champions.
Kelly
Even
Pavlik.
I don't know all of them. because
I don't know that I could name them all,
Yeah.
but Kelly Pavlik, Timmy Bradley, Nonito Donaire, Sergio Mora, who won the first contenders,
yeah.
Victor Ortiz. Man, at one time I could rattle them off. I had Kirkland, I had Angulo. They weren't world champions. Humberto Soto, Julio Ceja,
Wow.
bunch of them.
What a list.
Yeah.
And that's not even all of them.
That's not
That's
even
not,
all,
yeah,
just all those.
that's
That's
ones that
It's,
count.
and it's just that was kind of word of mouth, I guess. Hey, call this guy. He's my guy. And,
You know,
or did you decide, hey, I'm gonna?
No.
You know, it's,
I've never pursued one person.
Not
Never.
to jump ahead of him or not to interrupt him, but I feel like that's how boxing works. Like a lot of it is like they try to. I think when you go to like shows or events, you try to see someone else's setup, like someone a little bit more advanced. You see like what do they have? They have a cut man, or they got this, or they got that, and you kind of want to see how to get that.
They
You know
do
what I
this workout, and then like, let's do that.
Yeah,
workout.
exactly. I
this
think
guy.
that's kinda how it
So
goes.
real quick, early on, when you were working for me, the thing I got from Lester and from yourself, but from Lester is that, man, when Mike Miller comes around, they're all afraid. They all love. They all respect. How was I saying? They don't like him, but they respect the heck out of him because he's doing the right thing for both parties, not just me. You're doing the right thing for them too, to do what you say you're gonna do.
Yeah.
And that was the whole talk. Oscar, De La Hoya, everybody.
Yeah.
They said, man, they don't like him very much, but they respect the heck out of him and they work with him.
My impression of you, Mike, is more of like, well, I always say boxing's the Wild West, and he's the gunslinger. You know what I mean? He's got his 6-shooter on him. You know what I mean? It's
Because even right now, you work a lot with Oscar, right? And all the promoters. I mean,
Yeah. I'm doing work for Oscar and personally and for the company, and I have some fighters with him. We separate that business out whenever it comes to negotiate with my fighters. Then they let somebody else, their in-house counsel, deal with that contract and the negotiations there. I want to make sure that there's what they call a Chinese wall. But I'm still doing things with Top Rank and Samson, like we talked about, PVC, PVC pipe, PVC. Paco Damian, Don Chargan's protege. Eddie Hearn, those guys, Matchroom. And it's not a hard business if everyone would just do what they're supposed to do.
do what they say
Exactly.
they can do, right?
Yeah.
And that's the other thing. You're coming off this Jake Paul fight card, right?
Yeah.
Where you had Kid Austin, who just performed the heck out of himself. He just totally. I wouldn't call it an upset, but he really did perform better than I think anybody else would have expected him to perform. Knockout in the first round against Tevin Farmer.
And he came off of an amazing fight too with who did he just fight? Farmer fought the Zepeda.
Oh, William Zepeda twice.
So I was like, man, this is gonna be a tough fight
Yeah.
for Kid Austin.
It was a 50-50 fight, probably.
Yeah,
I mean, it was projected. And there were some who thought Farmer would win.
I mean, I thought for sure.
Yeah,
this was
I
gonna
thought it
be
was going to be a
good fight.
very, very tough
Yeah,
fight.
very close.
Like,
and tough
even
fight.
on my social media, I was saying I think that's gonna be fight of the night. I think
Yeah.
that's gonna be the fight.
No
You know,
one
there was-
expected a first rounder.
not at all. You know, just to not to jump ahead, but
Yeah.
how you were in the ring. You were in the ring right when that was happening. You were ringside. Like you were in the ring. I just remember the Kid Austin dropping him, and I knew that we were gonna talk to you this week, so I just saw you. You were just telling them something. Like right there. What was that like? Like everyone around felt that electricity, and you're there, right there. You didn't expect that, and that's your fighter, right? What was that moment like?
There aren't a whole lot of times in boxing when you have a high like that. They're far and few between, because either you're expecting it, and it's like, yeah, it should have happened, ho hum, or it doesn't happen at all. He gets dropped, and you don't have any celebrating.
Yeah.
So it's rare when something unexpected happens and you have that genuine excitement. Floyd had been, I call him Floyd or Kid, he hadn't seen his child in 6 weeks, and he had just FaceTimed him in the locker room 20 minutes prior to the fight.
Wow.
And I could tell that it really affected him. He missed him. And the little guy's 8 months old. I mean, I don't even know how much the young one understood what was happening.
Yeah.
But it affected the dad. And so what I was telling him is, you did that for your son.
Wow.
Your son's going to see that one day,
Powerful.
and you're going to be able to relive that with him. Savor this moment. Bring it all in. No one expected that. Enjoy it.
You're grounding him.
Yeah, yeah. Make him, and he's a humble guy. You guys have met him. There's some, craziness around him sometimes. But
what fighter doesn't, right? What fighter doesn't have that?
yeah, I mean, if you're making a living getting hit, you're crazy. But but he's a good, humble kid, and I'm just hoping that he stays that way. Not selfishly for me, but for him. He's going to get 10,000 times more fans and favor and sponsorships if he is the good guy and not the D-bag.
Yeah.
We got enough D-bags. That area is full,
Yeah.
and there's a waiting line there. Go do the right thing. Be nice, polite, humble. Yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. And watch how far that takes you.
There's longevity there.
Are
Longevity.
you able to share any possible names floating around in his near future
For him?
for him? Is there anything that's kind of
Well, because the whole thing is like what we usually say, like in boxing, when you perform like that, you don't get many calls because you don't. I mean, I'm sure maybe he is, but
he's getting
you just knock out a good opponent, right? In the first round. I wouldn't think too many people are excited to get in the ring with that guy.
right?
You know what I
Exactly
mean?
right.
You usually get calls when you don't perform so hot.
Yeah.
You know?
I'll let kind of Oscar do his job, Eric and Oscar.
Mm-hmm.
But, of course, there's Shakur. There's Cepeda and Shakur who are fighting, a week from Saturday.
Mm-hmm. And also
Nine-
kind of hinted at the
9-9.
winner of that, maybe.
Maybe.
That's fast. Yeah.
That is fast. I would like maybe another additional step-up fight in a perfect world. But look, if the money is crazy and the opportunity is there, I'm not going to say no. I'm just a member of the team
Right.
that gets to decide.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times my decision, no one's asking for my opinion as the final word, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, hey, we're thinking about this.
You're more
What
like
do-
a-
what do y'all
you-
think?
You advise. You
I
give
advise. I advise.
Counsel.
Yeah, because, James remembers. Sometimes you have to save the fighter from himself because they'll fight anybody, especially if there's enough greenbacks involved, dead presidents, as we say. If the money's right, I'll fight anybody. Well, hang on. How about we take this trail? Instead of going from here to there and getting paid, we go here, 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 and then we fight that guy, and you've made 4 times the amount of money for about the same risk.
Yep.
May
It's
take you a little bit longer,
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, you're going to have 4 times the money.
Mm-hmm.
Can we all get on that page? We good?
Yeah.
That's the whole thing.
But on the flip side, you're going to have some of the people on the camp saying, hey, look, you don't know what's going to happen. You know what's going to happen tomorrow. Take the money now. It's in front of you.
That's right.
So that's the hard, what do you do? What's
Yeah.
the right move? At the end of the day,
the-
I guess no one really knows until it plays out.
Because that's the risk. They can say, "Hey, we'll never be as hot as we are right now." But
Right.
you don't know that. Like you,
You don't
really
know
don't
that.
know.
Yeah.
Like do you want the quick 100 right now, or do you want the $4,000 down the road?
That's right.
And that's.
But the patient ones really are the ones that, if they build it up like the way Mike is talking about, it builds up organically, fan base grows. It's just like a music act, same thing. You know, you just, sometimes they go from playing clubs to arenas. It doesn't quite work,
Yep.
man.
Yeah.
You know, so you got to kind of build your fan base up a little bit.
And not
It
only
takes a
that,
little bit longer,
It does.
but it's worth it.
It's worth it.
and not only that, you have Kid Austin, right? Who Floyd, who just
Yeah.
performed the heck out, like more than what anybody would have expected, maybe even himself, right? And not to keep going on that, on his son.
Yeah.
I was watching the face-off between him and Tevin Farmer, and I was just thinking, I was watching it. Farmer used it a little bit against Floyd, where Floyd was saying, I'm really excited for this fight because this is the first fight that my son's gonna watch, or whatever. And Tevin Farmer starts laughing. The guy who's conducting the face-off asks him, "Well, so why are you laughing? Why did that make you laugh?" And he goes, "Oh, the kid's at home and he has no idea what he's gonna see from me. I want that kid to grow up hating me. I want that kid to grow up like knowing like I'm the one." And I was looking at that and I was like, wow, like I remember watching him fight, and I remember like those guys who beat him and all these things, and I'm like, man, like that's fuel, like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like that hit me in a certain way where I'm like, yeah, like there's some guys I don't like that, that beat him or whatever, and it just kind of hit a little thing for me because he tapped into that little bit of, and I always wonder how Floyd took that because like he kind of got quiet after that. But you saying, he hadn't seen him in a while and all that, that was just kind of like, wow, like
More fuel to the fire.
It's interesting you said that. It did piss him off.
I bet.
It did, and he mentioned that. I wasn't there for that interview, but I saw it. I saw what you saw, and when I saw Floyd next, he said, "Yeah, he knew exactly what to say and kind of how to say it. He got under my skin, and he's going to regret when Saturday comes. He's going to regret having gone there, so to speak."
I'm
Yeah,
sure that's
exactly.
exactly how he put it too.
Yeah.
That's a clean version. of
That's a
it,
clean
I
version.
imagine.
That's a PG
But
version.
I just remember seeing that little snippet,
Yeah.
like seeing that, and I saw the whole thing, but I remember seeing that and I was like, that would have pissed me off.
Yeah.
Mike, I knew you were going to come on the show, but a few weeks back, last season, we had Mike Baton here, and he was talking about a story. I wanted you to elaborate a little bit more, maybe give us your side of it, a story of when you and Baton and De La Hoya are in this little small jail cell trying to convince
Angulo.
Angulo to fight. So if you could kind of share a little bit more about it, and then some stories like that. I think our folks would like to hear some really cool stories that don't get told that often, but stuff that you could say that you feel comfortable in sharing.
Yeah.
And you could also protect the names.
Were you with us?
Yes.
Okay.
You were there too?
Yeah. So this is the way I remember it. I get a call, and forgive me as a trial lawyer, you always want to go kind of chronological, and you almost have to go back to set the story up. Mike Batal calls me on a Sunday, and he's like, "Hey, I saw you at the fight. I saw you on TV last night. I was watching that HBO fight. You're in the ring." and it's like maybe a public fight or Donaire or Bradley or somebody at the time. And I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Well, what do you do? Why were you in the ring?" "Well, I managed the guy fighting last night, and the fight was over. So, the team for that fighter gets up in the ring, and they announce about, oh, okay. Well, I want to do that." I said, "You do? You want to be a boxing man? Well, is there anything else I can do? Like, why was Oscar in the ring? Why? Well, that's the promoter. And what did they do?" So he started asking questions. Then the next kind of call I get, I think was from James, saying, "I think Mike Batal and I want to team up together and do boxing promotion. Who would you recommend we talk to or get involved with?" I said, "James, the only group right now that I would suggest you guys get involved with is Golden Boy Promotions, which is, you were one of their first signings.
Mm-hmm.
You remember that. When,
Yeah.
when Oscar started his company, James was number 1, 2, or 3, right there. And we knew going in that Oscar would do a good job because he was a former fighter and he had plenty of money. Those are 2 good traits you need to run a good promotional company. Don't half-ass it. Do it right. Hire the right people. Do it right. So I said, I would recommend that you guys talk to the guys in Golden Boy. Oscar, obviously, you already know. You fought him, and he signed you, and you fought for him your last fights. Richard Schaefer, who was running Golden Boy at the time, is a good guy, good friend. And then Eric Gomez, who has been Oscar's best friend since six years old. And so either Mike or James asked to set up that meeting. And I said, I can set it up. So that was one part of the story. The next part of the story was I was managing Angulo at the time. And he came across illegally the first time, lived here, was caught, sent back to Mexico, never to return. Ever. When you're caught over here, this is pre what we're going through now.
Mm-hmm.
10, 12, 15 years ago. So now I've got a fighter that can't fight in the U.S. anymore. He's in Mexicali, which is across from El Centro, where, oddly enough, where we used to have the dehydrator, down in the valley. So kind of Arizona, California border, there's a crossing, Mexicali. And he's living there, and he gets robbed twice. They steal his... First time they come into his house, and it's the cartel. He thinks it's the cartel. And they steal nothing but his banking information. And he notices they take out a bunch of money within a day or two. Second time they come in and they steal his, really nice TV, his Ford, his King Ranch pickup.
Wow.
Really pissed him off. I remember that to this day. And so I thought, you know what? We ought to try to get him an asylum. We ought to, figure out how can, because his daughter was still in the U.S. and baby mama was still in the U.S.
Mm.
So he's missing his daughter.
Yeah.
But he could never come back legally unless somebody pulls strings. And he was a Golden Boy fighter. So I spent almost $90,000 on an attorney setting up Angulo's asylum plea. Got him in to the U.S. at the prison in El Centro. He was supposed to have been released within 48 hours.
Okay. So just stop here for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Help me understand. You just said he's a free man in Mexico, but how does he end up in the prison? And can you connect the dot for me? Because I don't understand that.
So
part.
you have to go and present yourself to the U.S.
Okay.
And they stage you. They keep you in
Okay.
prison on this side
Okay.
until the BOP, Bureau of Prisons, keeps you. They're not going to let you run
Do
off
you have a hearing or
until you have your
whatever?
hearing.
Yeah. Okay.
And because all of his paperwork was done correctly, they're in anyone that stays longer than 48 hours is what we were told. So what the immigration attorney told us. He's going to go in, basically touch base. If it's a weekend, he's going to have to stay till Monday. If he gets in on a Tuesday, he's probably gone Tuesday afternoon or Wednesday. BOP comes and picks him up and takes him to L.A., where his hearing's going to be, the immigration office there, and he's done. So he gets to El Centro, and they figure out who he is, the warden at that jail. And they started being complete jerks with him.
Wow.
Stole his tennis shoes. I got him some Nikes and this and that, or Everlast sent him some gloves and stuff like that. They wouldn't let him train. Wouldn't let him, because he wanted to start training. He wanted to start fighting. Hey, I'm free. We're good. Okay, going back to the story about getting James and Mike hooked up with Golden Boy. I said, Mike agreed to fly us there on this plane.
Mm-hmm.
So James and I and Mike fly to L.A., meet with Oscar. Introduced him to Richard Schaefer and all them. Loved it. Let's do business together. Let's work together. Then we get on Batal's plane and we fly to El Centro, California, to the jail with Oscar, because the warden agreed to meet with Oscar. Oscar was going to make a plea. Hey, basically, I'm Oscar De La Hoya. Can you let my fighter out?
Yeah, this is my fighter. I need him.
Yeah. So we get there. That son of a bitch warden refused to meet with us. You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Now, was a meeting pre-staged?
Yes. We wouldn't have flown down there. That's a lot of jet fuel. You know what I mean?
Jet fuel.
Yeah. We flew down there, had somebody pick us up.
Meters going on that plane. You
Yeah.
guys, you're all, everything's going.
Yeah.
Everybody's meters going.
Yeah. And get down there, and, you know, the lady we're supposed to meet was there for us. Great. Hey, where's the warden? He's running a little late, 30 minutes, hour. Eventually, he's not going to be able to meet with you today. What do you mean? What happened? I think he's kind of embarrassed that you actually brought Oscar here. I said, I told you I was going to bring Oscar. We came up with the idea. Well, it kind of backfired. He's embarrassed now. Everyone's asking for his autograph, and there's now people outside the door here and outside the prison, and everyone knows that he's in town because they saw the jet land at the airport, and little bitty airport, and now half of, El Centro, California knows he's in town. So Angulo got released within a couple of weeks. He finally did the right thing, got released, and he got to fight. And he's still in the U.S. Thank goodness.
Wow.
Yeah. Eventually, he fought Kirkland.
Mm-hmm. That's
Remember
what
that?
I was getting to. Yeah.
The second most watched fight in HBO history.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Under when Tyson bit off Holyfield's ear. That was the number one. Number two is Kirkland Angulo.
Wow.
Cancun. November
I remember that
of
fight.
2015.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. So he,
Those
And
are
every-
big numbers if you think about that.
oh yeah. Every time I see Angulo, he still thanks me.
Yeah.
Of course,
For bringing him, being. I mean, he didn't have the money to do it.
What's he up to nowadays?
About 220. He's not fighting,
Yeah.
or at least I think he finally hung him up. I think he
He did a bare knuckle
He
fight.
did a bare knuckle,
did.
not
and
long ago.
he won.
Yeah.
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 Mike,
He could hit.
Does the boxing business miss HBO
Yes.
and what it brought?
Oh, absolutely.
I think so, right? Because it
Absolutely.
was
Man, hearing Jim Lampley's voice and on that ring.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh, it was.
Yeah.
The
It was
only thing
emotional.
the only thing was those fights sucked.
Yeah,
Right?
it was a shame for Jim Lampley to come
Yeah,
out to those
sure,
fights, but
yeah.
just hearing his voice and his play-by-play was unbelievable.
when HBO came to your town, your building, me as a building manager, I mean, you perk up. I mean, that is the best of the best. And it was the current version of ABC Wild World of Sports coming, boxing coming, It was that big, and it sucks that they're gone, but the business has changed. Everything's now on your phone.
Yeah, but that's the whole thing that makes it complicated. Is HBO boxing, you knew where to go.
Yeah.
You knew where to go, and now there's so many different
So many
streaming
platforms.
so many different streaming platforms. Where do you watch your fight, right? And you got to buy that. You have DAZN, but then it's pay-per-view DAZN, and it's complicated.
It
you
is.
know what I mean?
It is. Yeah. Showtime, HBO, ESPN, Fox. We miss them all. ESPN's about to get out of the business.
Wow.
I'm curious now about what happened a few weeks ago and Ramon Cardenas fighting Inoue.
Again, another one.
That's a whole thing that we need to unbox right there.
That's what I'm saying. This guy's been having a hell of a
Yeah.
year.
Yeah. How did that come to be? How did that fight come to be? Who called who?
When you're in an auto accident, you shouldn't be concerned with legal runarounds, just real advice. You deserve an attorney ready to work for you, an attorney that won't back down.
I've lost loved ones due to the negligence of others. If you or a loved one has been injured in an auto accident, I want to be there for you.
Raul B. Rodriguez and his team care about ensuring you and your family are represented, whether on the road or in the workplace. Raul is real, and Raul won't back down. Call 210-899-0300 to schedule a free consultation.
Were we on the air when I told you about Ramon getting
No,
hooked
we're
up?
off the air for that one.
Okay. Should I go into that? We got time for that?
Sure.
Okay.
We got all the time in the world, bro.
Okay. So
We can cut this up into a few episodes.
So Ramon came to me about No, it was November. I think when we chopped it up is November of 22. He was I get a call. Hey, do you know who Ramon Cardenas is? I said, no. Is he a client? He said, no. He's a fighter. Okay. You haven't heard of him? No. He had a great amateur career here, and he did this and that. I said, missed him. He said, well, he's back in town. A great young little kid, a little fighter, good guy. He wants to meet with you, talk to you about it, maybe being his manager. So I met with Ramon and his dad at the quarry, and took his box rack with me because I always like to kind of question him. And I noticed, he looked 30.
Yeah.
He looked 30 and had a long ponytail. I'm like, this is kind of a curious guy. But real nice. He's 25 at the time probably. And he brought his dad, and nice guy, the dad. But I could tell that there was some hesitation to Ramon when he was answering my questions or stuff like that. And I like the autonomy with just the fighter and I. In my perfect world, I don't want to have to deal with anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
So I made that very clear. If I'm going to get involved, I want to just you and I. Dad, appreciate it, but it's going to be no. He's yours. I'm going to turn him. So Ramon had lived in Orlando for 3 years. He was living in a hotel, and the deal was he had to fight once a quarter for the owner of the hotel, $5,000 a fight. They pick the opponent, and the owner of the hotel from Cuba would sell tickets at their convention little studio there, convention center, 200, 300, 400 people, and just here's your performer. So, but he got tired of it. He's making $20,000 a year, away from home, room and board, paid for, little gym there at the hotel. So he came back and he's like, I'm looking for somebody who is interested in me, who can give me one last shot, just one last deal. Last call for alcohol. I need to figure out if this is what I'm meant to do or not. And if it's not, then I need to go find something else to do. My dad's a contractor. Maybe I start working with him. I liked him. And I'm like, but at 118 to 122, I said, man.
Those are tough weight classes.
Very tough to match. Nobody, and if you're not in Japan or the Orient, Philippines, that kind of Thailand, it's tough.
And that's a big dude in those part of the world.
Yeah, those are heavyweights.
Yeah. So I'm like, I don't want to sign with you until I can find you a promoter. Let me find you a promoter first, and then we'll all sign together. Because I don't want to, I'm going to get you 4 fights, and then I look like a liar if I can't match you. I don't have anybody at 118 or 122. So I knew Samson Liskowitz, who specializes in the lower weight categories and in girls. He's got 2 or 3 really good girls. So I called Samson, and he said, look, I've got a showbox card we could put him on. I said, he said, it's a 50-50 card. They match very tough showbox. Who's he training with? I said, well, he doesn't even have a trainer. He's probably going to train with this guy named Chato here. Who? He didn't. He thought maybe Freddie Roach or something. I said, no, local guy. Kind of rolled his eyes, So he said, I'll put him on my next show. Kind of as a favor, whatever. I can't pay him much. I said, don't worry about it. I won't take any money from him. Whatever you pay him, he'll net that. So I said, okay, here's the deal. We're going to test drive you. We're going to put you in tough, in a fight, see how you do. And he does well. Samson signs him. So if you look at Ramon's record, the next 3 fights were against guys, I think it combined something like 87-1-1.
Jeez.
Badasses.
Some of them are here in town, I believe.
Some of the fights were here in town. The last showbox card, Ramon ended the show with a wonderful knockout. But he fought a guy named Picasso, I think with the ZZO, if you will. He hit him so hard, and Picasso he was undefeated. Picazo's jaw was like a bent frame on a pickup truck coming at you. You know what I mean? I mean, it was grotesque.
The statement right there.
The break started above the lip, below the lip, and then the TMJ bar here. I mean, devastating. Actually, that was his second fight with Joel Diaz. I sent him from here to Joel to train with Joel Diaz, who trained Timothy Bradley when I was managing Bradley. So I knew that Joel does very well with lighter fighters. Mm-hmm. And he has the number one guy at 122 in that gym already. Joel does. A guy named MJ, who's fighting Inoue next, by the way. So Ramon just kept winning. And Samson, again, connections, and Mr. Honda in Japan were good enough friends that Inoue needs an opponent. You know, you can be the monster, but monster's got to fight somebody sometime. Mm-hmm. And so Top Rank was owed a fight stateside with Inoue. So it was decided, let's get a U.S. fighter. Well, Samson, Honda, the guys at Top Rank, like Samson as well, would Cardenas fight Inoue.
And for people that don't know, Inoue is probably the pound for pound number one fighter in the world. Or number two.
Easily.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. One or two easy.
Yeah.
Easy. They call him the monster for a reason. He's now, 29-0 with 28 knockouts. Mm-hmm. Well, remember sitting at that table at the Hofbrau and the Quarry. Ramon told me, I'll fight anybody, anytime. You make sure the money is right because you're getting paid a percentage of it. And I'll fight him. So when Samson called me and asked, would Cardenas fight Inoue? I said, well, let's talk about the money. And started at, $250 or $300, got it up to $500. I said, I know he'd take $500. Call him. You sitting down? He thought like he was using the restroom. No. No, you're not a girl. No. So I told him, and man, he started screaming, "Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me?" I said, "Yeah."
Wow.
Here we go. And you don't have to go to Japan. We're gonna fight here.
Wow.
I'm gonna beat his ass. I'm gonna tell you, Miller. I'm gonna beat his ass. I'm gonna beat you. You watch it. I promised you. I promised you. I promised you. I said, just show up. Show me. Don't tell me. So, trained really, really, really hard. Joel loves him. Joel Diaz loves him. Says that hits as hard as his welterweights. Mm-hmm. When you hear somebody doing the mitts with Ramon, it sounds like a Schofield or a Kirkland from the old days.
And that's what we were saying on the podcast before the fight happened. We were kind of previewing that fight, and we were saying no one may know who Ramon Cardenas is, but if you're from San Antonio, you kind of, and if you've experienced him and you've gone to a fight, you've already know how that power is. He used to spar Raul Martinez at our gym, and we knew, like, okay, this guy can crack. You know what I mean? I mean, he just has to land that shot. And then, but again, to the whole world who knows him, he's a huge underdog. And again, he is an underdog, but at the same time, it was like, if you have some experience with him, you kind of know he just has to be right one time. You know what I mean?
That's it.
And were you wearing a heart rate monitor in round two? Where was your heart rate at?
Oh, man. Going up to the fight, and it's interesting because your fighters become almost like family to you. I remember going to your dad's fights. I used to take Yvette, my wife, and James and I and Lisa and Yvette became such good friends that Yvette couldn't go to the fights anymore because she couldn't stand to see her friend get hurt. So, I carry a little bit of that with me. I wasn't raised around fighting, so when I don't like MMA. That's just not me. That's human cockfighting. To me, my son loves it. My son doesn't like boxing. He likes MMA, and I get it. The younger crowd likes that, and I'm totally fine with that. I understand it. It's just not my cup of tea. So I don't like to see my friends get hurt. So I was worried about Ramon getting hurt by the monster. but I had confidence in him. Didn't mean I didn't have confidence in him, and I knew that he had trained very well. So, yeah, my heart rate it was a nervous heart rate, not excited. It was a nervous one, because your life can end. Also, I mean, there's some crazy things that have happened. But when that second round, that knockdown, I mean, you should have seen that sold out arena.
We had a trainer of ours. He made the trip over there, and that's all he talked about was he was elbow to elbow with a few of the monsters people, if you will, and the eruption that he keeps talking about, it just said it blew the roof off.
It did. And being there in the corner and watching, inside the corral with WBA and WBC and IBF and all of the commissioners there, because this was for a unified title. Mm-hmm. This was for all 4 belts. So all 4 were there. Mm-hmm. And none of them gave Ramon a chance. They were, this is going to be boring. And then all of a sudden, they're like, and all of the top-ranked guys were like, holy shit. Brad Goodman and Todd and all those guys, Bob Arum. I mean, there's their golden goose laying on the ground.
Mm. I remember texting him right when that happened. I texted both y'all, and I said, is this the biggest upset in boxing? Is this bigger than Tyson and Buster Douglas? Because you got to think of the extent of it.
Yeah.
The
unified.
Unified. You don't know who this guy is. Yeah. Again, another Japan tie.
Basically a nobody, right? Coming up and doing this.
Exactly.
We all
he's
knew
a cab driver.
He's the Rocky.
He was
he was a Lyft driver, right? Yeah.
He was an Uber, and so now they call him the cab driver. Literally, he was driving for Uber when he got back from Orlando, and Uber Eats, and a few others. I think even the HEB one.
And he handled it with class too. All the comments and all that. He just handled it. He owned it, and you admired it.
Yeah, and that's Ramon for you. Mm-hmm. He's going to Japan at the end of the month as a guest of Mr. Honda and Mr. Honda is putting on a huge event, a big fight at Tokyo Dome, and 100 and something thousand people, and he's invited Ramon to come and sit next to him, and they're going to put him up and have his own driver, feed him tickets, put him in the corral, introduce him. So he's getting to experience that because of a crazy little meeting at the Hofbrau in Hawaii 2.5 years ago,
What's his phone looking like now? Are there a lot? I would imagine there's some caution around him.
Well, not only that, like the whole thing about it is the interesting part was after that fight happened, the post-fight press conference, he had so many cameras on him, so many people asking him questions. The one question that stood out to me in my ear was they asked him, so where do you go now? Mm-hmm. And I remember him looking, I don't know if he looked right at you or he looked right at you, and he goes, because the guy said, where do you go now? He has all the belts, right? So you can't belt hunt because he has them all. You just fought the guy. So where do you go? And I was looking at it, and I was thinking he was looking right at you. Mm-hmm. He's looking right at you, and he goes, that's a great question, right? Like, I don't know. Like, it's like, because, you go from here to here, and you perform the hell out of your
It's hard to answer a question like that anyways. You just
experienced. You didn't expect to be there.
Right? Yeah.
So where do you go now, right? And
one thing about him, though, he's so big, he can go up, too, right?
Oh, yeah.
He can go up a weight.
Yeah. But he makes 122 fairly, he can still make 118. Wow. Which he would be killing people. There's really not that kind of money at there's none in a way at 118. He's still ranked number 1. He's still ranked number 1 with the BA. As long as he can maintain that, he will have to fight Inoue again, which is good. Mm-hmm. And Samson has promised him $1 million payday if he does that again as a rematch. So just stay healthy, stay in the gym. He's still training with Chato. He spars and he spars in the afternoons, runs in the mornings. He's got, with money in the bank, he doesn't have to hustle as much as he used to. Mm. And that can work one of two ways. It can make you fat and lazy, lackadaisical, or it can be, now I don't have to worry anymore. Now I can really go do my job 110%. And
Now,
he's taken the
now
second.
all I have to do is work out.
It's just work
That's
out.
all I got to do.
I don't have to worry about a meal.
Yeah.
And so I think money in his pocket, money in the bank, if you will, has really has opened his eyes to, now I see what it's like. Let's keep doing this. Let's keep doing this. Not, let's rest on our laurels. Okay, I fought anyway. There's so many people that would fall backwards and say, hey, man,
I reached the top.
I can retire now. I'm
mean,
the
or
one
people-
that,
made this money.
or people just telling him that and letting that soak in too. So
yeah. And he's mature, that's a good point, Dean, because he's mature enough not to listen to the knuckleheads who either are jealous or kind of naive.
right, exactly.
You know what I mean? And so
Like they say, money doesn't change you; it changes the people around you.
right. And I commend him. He hasn't, it hadn't gone to his head. He's not some big shot. Hey, do you see me on TV? You wouldn't know he's who he is.
It's the San Antonio thing. I feel like all the San Antonio fighters have that humbleness about them.
Yeah, Bam's the same way. Mario's the same
Barrios,
way. What's interesting is all them, I didn't know this, but Raul Martinez and Ramon are first cousins.
Wow.
That's why it was so weird when we would see them spar.
Yeah.
They're going to war.
Yeah.
These are cousins.
Trying to
You know,
kill each other
like-
at the gym.
And Bam and Mario, there might be one or two others. All of them trained with turning as amateurs at the same time. Imagine that, Jim.
Wow.
So there was Bam, there was his brother Josh, Mario, Hector Tanahara, like all that whole group. You know what I
Tanahara,
mean?
yeah. Ramon, Raul. I mean, all trained with the Ramoses, Turney especially, turned pro and kind of went their separate ways, but still have their roots and still have their humbleness. I mean, Bam's a good guy, and so is Mario. They're fighting here in the next couple of weeks, and representing San Antonio well. I think you're right, Dean. I think we're not a bunch of chiflados here. We understand the boxing game. These kids today are standing on the shoulders of those that went before him. The Golden Johnsons, the James Leijas, the John Michael Johnson, for heaven's sake. The Robert Quiroga, the Ayalas, Souza, all these guys,
You got one of the best cut men that ever came out.
Do they have that memory? Do they have that?
They do.
They understand the history of San Antonio boxing.
I think it's hard to be a boxer in San Antonio and not.
They're at the right age where they're at the right age now where they were at the right age when they were coming up to admire those in front of them. Now, you get a 15-year-old, they're not going to know.
Right.
Exactly.
But these mid to late 20-year-olds do appreciate and understand who their forefathers were.
I mean, Mario knew who he was chasing when he won that first world title. Like, he was the first one after him. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So, like,
true.
he knew who he was going for. Like, they know who the last world champion was in San Antonio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they know what it means to be a world champion and what it meant to, if it meant that much to my forefathers, if you will, it's going to mean the same, if not more, to me. I'm not going to be the first, but, I still can be one of them, be one of the group that, my jersey's hung on the rafters, so to speak.
I always say that San Antonio's in good hands with these young guys coming up.
Yeah. They
Bam,
really are. Yeah. I think that I have no doubt that Schofield's going to be a world champion. I think that Ramon's going to get probably an interim opportunity here pretty soon. Probably one of his tune-ups, if you will, before anyway, will be an interim, so that it means more.
Yeah, like Kid Austin, that's great, but I always like to feel these guys that are born from are from like raised here in town.
True.
We're San Antonians all the way through.
Yeah, high school.
Yeah, that's what I.
I mean, Ramon's from Harlandale.
Yeah, well, how many Harlandale? Me, John Michael Johnson,
Raul Martinez.
Felix Castillo back in the day. They got a lot of people from Harlandale that are fighting.
They're fighting South Side.
South side.
Fighting pride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are there any fights with either your clients or just fights out there that you're really excited about seeing and or hoping gets made?
I've got a young fighter who's training in Vegas that I'm with, Bob Santos. He's a 126-pounder, Luis Nunez. This kid can fight. He fought 2 weeks ago in Dominican Republic as a tune-up.
From San Antonio?
No, he's actually from Dominican Republic. He found me.
Okay.
Actually, Bob Santos found me. Said this kid has been jerked around by his manager. I got his manager out of the contract. Got Nunez out of the contract with his manager. Went and watched him spar. This kid is a beast. I can't wait to see him fight in person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's coming up. He's going to be on the Tank Davis card. I think it's mid-August. You guys would know. I mean, you guys keeping up with it. He's going to be on that undercard. So I can't wait for that. I want to see kind of what breaks out in the Shakur Cepeda.
Yeah, it's a great fight.
Yeah.
I'm kind of anxious to see how that plays out. Ramon. Try to get him an interim title between now and the end of the year. He's in a good spot.
Yeah. You got two of the hottest prospects on the scene right now.
Well, they're pretty.
So, Mike, in these particular cases, what about more, for example, just kind of share with people who are watching this. I mean, are you picking up the phone, trying to see if you can connect the dots to make this fight happen? Are you waiting for people that were there and saw this? There's talk about potentially this interim thing happening.
The promoter does that.
Yeah,
That's the promoter's job.
right.
And Samson's as good as anybody about it. Samson, as a promoter, you need to be going to the conventions
Yep.
so that you can advocate for your fighter to be top 1 or 2 or 3. And then why? I mean, they're not going to put a pansy in there. Somebody who's earned it. He's very good at advocating for his fighters. Samson is. I leave that heavy lifting to him.
You let him do that. Here's the deal. You fine-tune the deal points.
Yeah. He goes and gets 1, 2, 3 potential opponents. And then why? I think this would be an interesting fight, but the money's not there. Or the opposite. A lot of money here, but no exposure. Or Goldilocks, little hot, little cold, right in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
This one I think makes more sense. And, a lot of times it's convincing the fighter to take the fight. Not every fighter has a lot of confidence in themselves. Not every fighter is as tough as they think they are. They'll figure out a way to get out of a fight by overpricing themselves.
Yeah.
Okay?
Because there's a little bit of doubt there. I don't know.
What? If they're not 110% sure that they're going to beat him, they all of a sudden pull a hamstring if you want to.
That's the Canelo.
I need 800,000.
To feel better.
The budget for the whole thing is 400. Well, I'm not doing it.
Well, just say you don't want to do it.
Exactly. Just tell me the truth.
Yeah. That's Canelo Benavidez. I want $200 million to fight Benavidez. And, well, he's going to give him that.
No, I'm as pie in the sky. So the good thing is Schofield will fight anybody so far. Ramon the same way, and Nunez the same way, and David Stevens, another guy, I have the same way.
So, listen, you are as in as anybody right now in the boxing world, okay? And we've been talking past several weeks. I mean, boxing, there's a reason why UFC is as popular as it is. And there's a reason why boxing is kind of floundering, and it is. A lot of people think that it's all set up, that the outcome's already predicted. And then, so now you have, just want to get into this, now you've got one of the richest people in the world entering the boxing fray, partnering up with a very creative, powerful force in their own right, in TKO entity, and they're creating their own boxing division. And then, I know you got like your De La Hoyas, you hear, I like to hear Oscar Slapback Thursday, which I think are pretty clever, man. They really are.
Yeah.
And he don't give a damn about talking about anybody, but it's just him. It's a way for him to stay relevant out there, to get those clicks, just to start stuff. And so I admire that about him. Mm-hmm. And then you've got other promoters that are being quiet about it. not saying anything because nobody wants to really piss on, I guess,
Turkey.
yeah, coming in. I mean, what's kind of like your state of the union with boxing right now, and how do you see this kind of playing out in just, in the world, people you're talking to?
I've been to Saudi twice and London once with the Saudis. So I've seen a little bit. Enough. I've seen enough of it to kind of get a feel for it.
Is there a place for it?
With HBO and Showtime gone, somebody has to pick up and take the slack. Okay? Let's look at the body of work that Liv has done, that Turkey Al-Rashid has done, and that's the Liv Golf.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Paying those guys a ton of money. But is anybody watching Liv Golf? No. I don't watch.
Right.
If I'm going to watch golf, it's Sunday afternoon, nothing else to do, right? And the guys that didn't run over to Liv is who I'm watching.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see Phil Mickelson or any of those guys anymore. And frankly, I don't.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know if they're playing anymore. I know they are, but you know what I mean.
Right.
Out of sight, out of mind. I just hope that the Saudis, Turkey, and his group don't make this almost like their latest toy that they're going to play with for a while and then give up on it, which is why Samson has not done business with them yet. Oscar is all in. They came to Oscar first. The first promoter they wanted to do because they liked the celebrity. They wanted a celebrity. If they're going to do business, why not do it with a celebrity, right? Who can come to Saudi and kind of create some buzz. The two fights I've been to over there, they have a brand new venue, 8,000 seat venue, state of the art, as you could only imagine. The royal family did it. There were 800 people at the fight.
Oh.
800.
I was gonna say, is it as quiet as it looks on TV?
800 people. First fight we went to was Mexican weekend. So it was Mexico versus the world. And it was Golden Boy fighters, all from either Mexican last names, surnames, or literally from Mexico or Puerto Rico or whatever, versus England,
In Saudi.
in Saudi. Well, the Saudis paid untold hundreds of thousands of dollars to bring mariachis in, a Mexican marching band, all that Tejano singing and all that kind of stuff. They made up 25% of the people in the crowd.
Wow.
We brought.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they would have papered the house with free tickets or something. I don't know why they didn't do it. I mean, they were both DAZN fights, so
It's their own personal entertainment, it seems like.
Yeah, it is. That's exactly it. Nobody there is a fight fan.
Mm-hmm. And that was your question, Jason, a couple of weeks back, right? We were saying, why are the fans so different from Saudi? Like, you would think like they're bringing in these great fights, like people are just dying to get in, but they don't react like the fans here in the States,
No. I don't even think that those tickets were for sale. I think they were handed out and nobody came.
Wow.
So it was weird. It was quiet. It was totally different. The only thing that was familiar is, it's a ring, and you got 3 judges, and it's like an amateur show.
And they're the commission.
And there's a commission.
Could I attend a fight like that?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'll be there.
Yeah. You could attend. There's a box office. I could probably even get you a ticket, Dean.
Yeah.
But
So there's a box office. You can just go
Yeah.
online, buy a ticket.
yeah, but very few people did. One of the fighters was from Britain, and wherever town he was from has a soccer team. That soccer team happened to be training in Saudi Arabia at the time, so that fighter brings the entire soccer team, which was interesting because they were loud and boisterous and having a good time. That was interesting.
Yeah.
kind of the soccer.
Got to test out
hoops.
their Rico's cheese, see if it's warm or cold, and
Yeah.
see if their jalapenos are hot.
Yeah,
Test that's a real test right there.
we can arrange that.
Yeah.
So have you been contacted by this new entity at all to have one of your fighters maybe fight under them at this point? Because right, that's the latest we heard, is that they're going to kind of start right, bringing in their own guys, starting their own
Or they're gonna
thing.
sign their own guys.
Yeah.
I mean, TKO would essentially be like a UFC.
Right.
Yeah. So Canelo has signed with them to do a few fights with them for a tournament. Ryan Garcia was signed a 2-fight deal to fight with him. He's a Golden Boy fighter, but they cut a deal with Golden Boy, give us Ryan for 2 fights. A lot of money. But Ryan lost his first fight.
Yeah.
Ryan got to choose the way it was going to be is, Ryan, you fight whoever you want. Remember, they put it at Times Square.
Yeah.
That was the craziest thing.
Yeah.
When I was sitting in the meeting, you're going to block off entire Times Square? You don't know what the weather's going to be like. We're parking. Where are people going to park? Where are they going to? Have y'all been to Manhattan at that time of day, y'all? I mean,
It was a spectacle of it. It was making some noise. And
well,
But even then,
they
like,
came
that-
out with a new video game, and it was more publicity for that new video game that the Saudis came up with than it was the fight itself.
right.
And I mean, they were warming up at their hotel, getting in a cab and driving
In traffic.
Yeah.
in traffic and getting out and fighting and then getting back.
Walking back.
And see, that brings up the whole thing that who was that? Who's the Bob Arum? I believe Bob Arum was saying, you know, these Saudis getting involved with boxing is great, but you can see how much they actually care about boxing going into this UFC Dana White deal. Like, if they were going to really care about boxing, why don't they go with the boxing purist, promoters? Why don't they get those guys involved? Why are they going to a UFC guy to change this boxing thing?
It's for the show.
It's for the show.
Yeah. So Schofield was supposed to have fought on the undercard. So they asked him to come and perform, if you will. But he was going to be paid by Golden Boy. Turkey Al-Rashid was going to pay Golden Boy, who was going to pay. And it was it was $950,000 car.
Very-
purse. Very, very good. Stuff happened and he didn't fight. They haven't asked Ramon to fight or any of my other fighters yet. And that's okay, because I've got my guys with promoters that I appreciate and I can negotiate with. Thing is, with Turkey, he doesn't know what the answer no means. He doesn't know what the word no means. Meetings are at 2 and 3 and 4 in the morning.
Wow.
Turkey wants to see you. Let's go. Go. Let's go. What? Yeah. He wants to have dinner at 2 o'clock in the morning. I don't know when they sleep.
Yeah.
But those fights are taking place at midnight. It's at midnight. Card starts at 10:30 to 2:30 in the morning. So, are you ready for that? You want some of that? You got to fly over there. It's 18 hours one way.
Yeah.
And it's not the most beautiful place in the world, Riyadh.
Yeah.
It's not Dubai, y'all. Everyone thinks, oh, Saudi Arabia, Dubai. That's a city in another country.
Yeah.
This is Midland, Odessa, Texas. This is a pretty cool town, about the size of Houston, Riyadh, capital of Saudi Arabia. Cool buildings. I sent you, I think. Did I send you what my place looked like? They put you up in nice places.
That was very nice.
But outside the town, it's all dust and camels and everything else. Looks like West Texas.
Wow.
So it's not some oasis.
Yeah.
And you're in your hotel. Great security. Their security guys look like they're a bunch of muscle heads. I thought the security would be from Saudi Arabia. They're not. They're from Great Britain
Yeah.
and Wales. The strongest guy in Wales was one of the security guards, the 5th strongest guy in the world.
Wow.
As he kept telling me. And another guy was from England or somewhere around a little town outside of London, I'm sorry. And when he found out I was from Texas, we became best friends.
Yeah.
He wanted to do 3 things: deer hunt,
Yeah.
shoot skeet, clay pigeons, and eat barbecue.
Wow.
And if you can throw a horse ride in there, that would be great too. But I've horse ridden before. He said, those other three I haven't done. I've never deer hunted, never shot skeet, and I've never eaten barbecue, Texas barbecue.
Wow.
So I saw he was our security guard the first time. I saw him the second time I went, and he was somebody else's, but he would always come over and want to talk about Texas and all that. Did you bring him anything from Texas?
Yeah.
So the point is, they treat you right when you're there, put you up in great places, good food. It's American food. I mean, I don't eat Saudi Arabian food. I don't even know what it is. So it's an experience. Don't get me wrong. And they, I don't have anything bad to say about it. It's just a long ways to go for 800 people sitting in the stands. I mean, you get more at a local show here at the shrine, Elzevir Shrine or something. So that's my take on.
It's interesting to see how it's all going to play out. I think it's just, these are just growing pains that I think boxing's going through, and it's a business like anything else, and eventually it's going to have to kind of smooth out.
It always does that. It's
Ebbs and flows.
There's up, there's a down.
Yeah.
Mike, this podcast is foundation run, the Leija Family Foundation for Mental Health. This is what we are. This is what we do. We also have two guys that are on the board of the Miracle League Foundation, the Miracle League of San Antonio. For those that don't know, just give us a quick rundown of, it's been going on for years. Y'all have been a part of it. It's a great story, but for our viewers and our listeners, break down a little bit of the Miracle League of San Antonio.
Sure. Well, it all started when my wife and I were pregnant. It's funny how guys say and I, but I guess the guys get to say and I, right? Mm-hmm. So my wife was pregnant with our first child, Sydney, and this is the way I remember it, and it may have been the first or second, but the first or second trip to the OB-GYN, and it was the first trip that the OB-GYN did a sonogram. The OB-GYN started he had a puzzled look on his face when he was running the little wand over Yvette's belly, and then stopped and started again, and and so he said, "Hey, I think I see some indicators. I'm sure it's nothing. I'm going to send you out to go get checked out by a neonatologist." I'm like, "Signs of what?" He said, "Well, maybe Down syndrome, but I'm sure it's nothing. Don't worry about it. Don't I do this it's weekly. This stuff happens all the time. Just second pair of eyes on it, no problem." Well, we go to this neonatologist, just crusty old man, and within 30 seconds, he's like, "Yep, Down syndrome. Nothing you can do." Just kind of walks out of the room like, "Oh my gosh," So now we're 0 for 2. We get a third opinion from a second neonatologist, and he tells us the same thing. So here we go. We start doing research. The OB-GYN, without naming him, probably thought he was doing us a favor, but he came and put his arm around me and called me out in the hall. He was a personal friend of mine, and didn't want Yvette to hear this, but he said something to the effect of, we can have a wink, wink, miscarriage in case you want to terminate, And I tell him, "No, you got the wrong guy. We've already done the research. God sends these little angels to the special parents," and I had a little script I was saying already, trying to talk myself into, oh my gosh, my life's going to change dramatically. And Yvette and I had decided we weren't going to figure out if it's a boy or a girl. A few surprises left in the world, and we just decided that would be one of them. So anyway, the last test we could have done was where they put the long needle in your stomach and pull out the amniocentesis, and we decided not to do that. Nothing was going to change. That would have verified whether or not that Down syndrome was there or not. We chose not to do it. Went to full delivery, and Sydney was born totally normal. She's not Down syndrome at all. And so, of course, blessed, but at the same time, wondering how those tests, how are 3 tests coming up positive for Down syndrome, and then and they were so sure of themselves with science and all that today, and then Sydney's totally normal. So, you ruminate on it, and you're like, well, it's got to be a miracle. As a believer, I believe in miracles. And so fast forward 5 months. She was born in November. This was probably 4 months, I guess. It was February the following year. I was watching a story on HBO Real Sports about a man who had a Down syndrome daughter, 9-year-old, and a 14-year-old son who played select baseball. And this dad's like, it's not fair that I drag my son all over the state playing select baseball, and I don't have a league that my little Down syndrome daughter can play in. So he started a baseball league for his special needs Down syndrome daughter in Georgia. And like we talked about, me growing up in Eagle Pass, we weren't very good at many sports, but we were good at baseball. And so I grew up playing it, loved it, still do, still like it. So I thought, if Sydney had been born Down syndrome, that's something I would have liked to have gotten involved with. That would have been pretty intriguing. And I went to bed thinking that thought, and then I woke up the next day thinking, no, you know what? You need to do it because she's not Down syndrome, and bless the families that have been through what you went through and didn't have a daughter that was
different outcome.
able. Yeah. So, and I kind of wrestled with it for a day or two, and I'm just like, nah, I'm convicted, man. There's nothing worse than being convicted and trying to back away from it, So
You were all in
I was all in
at one point. Then
I was.
yeah.
You weren't going to stop me after that. So I told Yvette about the story that I watched, and I said, I can't do it alone. And we were involved. Your career, I think, was just coming to an end. And I thought, who better than to help open doors for me than your dad, than James. You go open the doors, James. I think I told him, you go open the doors and I'll tell the story.
Yeah.
And we went and saw Nelson Wolf, I think, first. Red McCombs, Greehey, Mr. Greehey, Lowry Mays.
Just a few, low-key notable
Yeah.
San
Yeah.
Antonians.
I didn't know. I don't know that I knew. I may have known Nelson and Wolf a little bit, but I didn't know these others. James helped open those doors. And they loved the story, and they loved jumping on board. We raised almost $2 million initially to build the facility where we are. So it's a 4-acre facility out next to Wolf Stadium. Buckner Fanning offered us property, Stone Oak, an acre of his property that his school is built on. And we decided we didn't want it there because it was the wrong side of town.
Yeah.
We knew.
I remember talking to you about that and saying, man, if I'm a South Sider, I lived in the South Side at the time. If I had a kid that had special needs and I wanted to take it to the league, to the Miracle League, man, I don't think I'm going to drive all the way across town to the North Side or whatever.
Yeah.
That's what my thinking. Or we figure that leave it more central so that way everyone can enjoy it.
We figured the North Side would come to the South Side before the South Side went to the North Side.
Yeah.
And it divine intervention, I guess, because we were so right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we've got so many players within 3 miles of that field, and then we've got plenty of players from. There's a player that comes from Eagle Pass. There's a player that comes from Uvalde, Castroville, Hondo, Seguin, New Braunfels.
Yeah.
And we've got 165 players.
And when we say players coming, right? Well, it's all the families too are coming to watch.
Yeah, they can't drive, so
Yeah.
it's at least a family member, sometimes 2, sometimes 3 and 4, because they've got both parents and 2 or 3 able-bodied children
They want to cheer.
that want to cheer. And we have games in the spring and games in the fall, so we do it twice a year. We've done it 18 years now, and I think we're leaving a little dent in this earth.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm probably most proud of. Is not my legal career, not boxing, being a dad, and then being a person that's helped the less fortunate, the Miracle League kids. I mean, I tear up.
powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The parents who have told me, the dads who have told me, I never thought I'd be able to play baseball with my son or daughter whenever my son was born with no legs, totally paralyzed or something like that. And then to think I am able to play.
Yeah.
You know? And so
And to think a lot of these things, I always say, like, divine intervention, right? I'm not a believer, but I always say just because I don't believe in God doesn't mean he's not working through me to get to you.
Right.
Right? If you had stayed on that farm, you're
That's
probably
it.
not doing that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's this thing it's massive, and I've been fortunate enough. My wife and I've been fortunate enough to go to your galas that you do every year, and it's a first class event, first class entertainment. I mean it's one of the best galas around
in the city, for sure.
Thank you.
and you've been doing that every year, and you get a bunch of people to show up, and they look forward to it every year.
Always
and-
sold out, man.
Yeah.
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 And like we always say, right? Like you always say every gala, if you want to be moved,
Yeah.
you come out to the field.
And I always
If
tell
you want your
people,
life changed.
Yeah. If you don't want your life changed, don't come out. So it's double negative.
Yeah.
It's kind of Don't come out here unless you want your life changed.
right.
So
And for the
be
better.
careful.
Yeah, for the better though.
And I'm happy to say the Leija Dodgers have been undefeated for.
That's right. But the Miller Mets are right behind them.
I went to go pitch. I went to go pitch a while back.
Yeah.
And I even brought my goo behind the ear and
Yeah.
everything. But
put
they were
that-
hitting them, man. They
were.
got
That's
some.
man.
They were hitting them.
You went out with Jimmy Ellis's son Nolan, if I recall.
No, I
right?
was with.
Who were you with?
I was with Don Harris's.
Oh,
son.
that's right. Don Harris's son, Grant. Grant or Landry?
Landry. I was
Landry.
with Landry.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
We had a great time, man. It was special.
And Don was there, wasn't
He was there.
he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He-
The dad.
he
That's
came
right.
out.
That's right. That's right.
I was giving them my secret stuff, man. They were hitting them.
Yeah. You know, yeah. No,
well,
we
you know
had a
what,
good
and
time.
I think we'll run some B-roll during this thing too. So, Jason, if you can get some of that,
yeah,
your little
definitely.
video
Yeah.
that you
Yeah,
have,
we'll have
Mike,
video.
a little pitch video. If you can, I don't know if you got it on your phone and send it to James or whatever, but get it. That way, he'll get it to them, and they'll throw it in while you're talking.
Yeah,
We'll show it kind of in the
Yeah.
back, but
for sure.
then also we should put something on there if people want to
Yeah.
donate.
Donate. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll put everything on there.
Come
I'll put it on
out,
there.
come out to a game. The games are basically the week after Labor Day to Halloween. Easy to remember, or should be. And then basically April Fool's Day, first day of April, to the week before Father's Day. Those are our 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Kind of easy to
Nice.
easy to remember.
For sure.
And it's miracleleagueofsanantonio.com. It's the website. We have our website with the calendar. I mean, yeah, schedules and calendars and directions and the
So
story.
this, Mike, this league, this facility really services all of Central and South Texas, right?
I think it. I mean, I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, but we've got players. We pull players from a pretty wide variety of places. You know.
Does it make at all any sense to do a second one somewhere?
You know, Gordon Hartman at his place has something similar. I don't know if it's a Miracle League or something. I was asked, Harvey Nachum asked if I would do it, and he would have supported it, funded it. And I said no. I didn't want to dilute what I have.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I'm serving 2 masters. I'm going from my deal to the next one, and do what you're going to do what you're doing and do it well. It's the old, don't be half-assed at 2 things.
Yeah.
Do it right, do it well. I'm tied into these people. We're committed. I stay faithful.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to be everything to everybody. So somebody wants to start a new one, go knock it out. I'll be your big cheerleader. I'll help you get started. I'll give you the secret sauce. But I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations to you guys for doing something
Thanks.
spectacular and beautiful, and
Definitely.
Yeah, that's been a lot of fun. It's a lot of work, but there's nothing that's worth much that isn't a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's easy. It's no big
His
deal.
families are looking forward to it.
Oh yeah, the kids hear it all the time. Little Johnny wakes up and he puts his jersey on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, just hoping it's Saturday.
Yeah.
No, take it off. It's Tuesday. Oh, you know,
Yeah.
puts it on Saturday. Yeah, okay, good.
Let's
You know,
go.
So,
Yes.
you know, those little stories,
Yeah.
vignettes, you know,
For sure.
bring a smile to your
Couldn't
your
think
face.
couldn't think of a better way to end that podcast. End this podcast with that. It's a great
Yeah.
message, great thing.
Yeah,
Mike, thank you so much for being here.
my pleasure, man.
Oh, Mike.
Thank you for your
You
time,
guys
man.
made something out of
Mike,
it.
You're an angel, Lee. You really are. Not, I mean, to all of us here at the dais, but just to everybody that you come in contact with. You're just a genuine angel, Mike, and I mean that. You really are a
Very
good
kind.
man.
Well, thank you.
Yeah,
Good
thank you for
person.
being here too.
You are.
Yeah,
sharing some of your
it's been
time.
fun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
been fun.
You have to come back. Tell
Anytime.
more stories.
Anytime.
Definitely.
More stories.
Yeah, guys,
I'll
y'all
tell you
know
the
what I would
subway
say?
story
Go for it.
next time.
Yeah, next time. We'll leave it on that.
Leave it at that.
Guys, you know what I always say? If you like this content, please like, comment, and subscribe. If you got anything from this podcast, which I'm sure you did, please share it. Family, friends, anything. You know, there's so much here. There's so much content that we're bringing you, that so many good things to hear, so much good advice, so many good learning lessons here in these podcasts. Please share, like, comment, and subscribe. We're in season 3. Stay tuned. We got a lot of great guests, just like Mike got a lot of great guests. Yeah, this is the Leija Lounge season 3. Keep your eyes open.